If somebody was making a movie about your life, who would you want to play you?
I already have an answer to this one because I've been saying the same thing for forever.
Okay.
If Terry Crews doesn't play me, I will be so upset.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. We are your hosts, Jack,
And Josh.
and we are back again. This week we have a fun episode, and Josh has no idea what we're doing this week, and it's going to be fantastic. I decided
Yep.
to leave him in the dark, and we're going to have a fun little discussion, and I figured that it was time for a almost like a celebratory episode because we've been working hard
Mhm.
on this content. We've been working hard on the TikTok. I first of all, before we even get started with the show, you posted a TikTok about a show that that you have been hyping up for the past couple weeks,
Mhm.
and it blew up. The TikTok blew up. So if anybody is listening to this episode because of that TikTok about Blackbird, welcome. Thank you for coming by.
Welcome.
Um, what do you have to say about that? That was kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was pumped. I think Apple TV has some really good quality shows, but it seems to be the one that the least amount of people use for streaming. Like
Sure.
everyone I know, like HBO Max is thrown into a lot of streaming deals. Everyone has Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon Prime people have because they have Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those people already have. So like the ones that are either on maybe Showtime or Epix or Apple TV, a lot of people aren't watching. And I have found some really cool shows on
Yeah.
Apple. And so I mean, that one I had never heard of. I never seen one promo for, not a single person talking about it. I was just scrolling through Apple TV's list because I had been through Amazon and HBO and Netflix a million times. And I was like, I want something new. What am I looking for?
Yeah.
And read the description on that one. And I was like, this thing is too cool. Why don't people know about this?
Sure.
So it
And then
was
you loved
awesome.
it, and you posted about it, and a lot of people seem to agree too. Like
Yeah.
it seemed like, despite a lot of people talking about that show and there not being a lot of promo for it, everyone agreed. I don't
Yeah.
think there was maybe, like, I think out of the hundreds of comments that we got, maybe one or two maybe that
Yeah.
like said that they didn't like it or they thought it was boring.
Yeah.
And
One guy
then
was like, first episode, I was falling asleep. It's like, that's going to be a lot of first episodes of shows. You got to kind of build up the story and see where
yeah,
it's going. And yeah,
and
that to each their own. Like
sure,
the fact, what really blew me away was there were multiple people that were going, it's on Apple TV. I don't have it. I'm going to
yeah,
go like
go
order
get
that
it.
streaming service. And
Yeah,
it's like, I'm a random dude on the internet. Dude, you're just going, hey, this guy said this show is good. I'm gonna go pay money to start seeing this now. That
yeah.
blew me away more than
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, I think that's awesome. I think that's also, it just goes back to, again, what we were talking about very early in the show, like one of the first episodes about critics and Rotten Tomatoes and how easily
Mhm.
influenced other people that are
Yeah,
looking for these opinions and looking for reviews can be. You should go on and say like, "Hey, this is a great show. Watch it," and people are like, "Cool, I'll sign up for the streaming service just to watch it." Like, based
yeah.
because you said you liked it, and then
It put a lot
who
of
knows?
pressure on me.
Sure, but I mean, who knows? Maybe they love it, and that's kind of
Yeah.
like the cool part. I think that's what really why I wanted to highlight it. Again, if you are here from the TikTok or just our TikTok page in general, very cool. If you're here and you haven't gone there, we post a lot of other content, specific recommendations and news about movies and trailers and things like that. So that's more of where you can get very short snippets of what we're recommending, what we're watching. Whereas here is going to be a lot more discussion based, which I think is
Mhm.
cool. So if you do listen to podcasts, you can do this. But if you don't, and you just like you want the opinion of two people that love movies, then the TikTok and the Instagram are like where you're going to find most of the content, which I think
Exactly.
that gives us a little spot for everything. But yeah, the what's really cool about that, and you just like not, I mean, it had like I think 55,000 views or whatever. I think it's
Just wild.
obviously like out of nowhere, and that's nothing in the grand scheme. Like, let's be real, that's nothing in the grand scheme of some of these crazy
Mhm.
videos that have millions and millions of views. But for us, as like just starting that channel, very cool.
Mm. Oh
But
yeah.
it is cool to me that um with the streaming service like Apple TV or with some of these others, like you do have the ability to find things that not a lot of people know about, or like,
Mm-hmm.
and what I mean by that is like the broad general public, right? Like this one
Yeah.
specifically, if you hadn't told me about it, I would have never known, because I don't have Apple TV myself, and I
Yeah.
only like see stuff through you when it comes to that. So it is very, very cool where you can like, there's 55,000 people and a lot of them knew about it, but a lot of them didn't. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what's super cool. But anyways, yeah, if you haven't followed the TikTok or whatever, do that. And if you're
Yeah,
here again,
loved
once
loved
again,
all
thank
the
you.
feedback. It
Yeah,
was all much appreciated. Everyone that had a kind word towards the show, like I took
super
it
cool.
towards me in some sort of way because it was like we were
Yeah,
connected on this thing. So it was awesome being able to share that experience with a lot of people.
very cool. So we look forward to doing that more in the future with other things.
Hmm.
But real quick before we jump into today's show, a couple things. Obviously, we talked about last week. We're coming out this month. August is a big month for releases. This past
Hmm.
weekend, we had Bullet Train, we had Prey, Bodies, 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 The Sandman, and maybe one other thing off the top of my head. I'm not 100%. I only got to see part of Sandman. I started that. I don't want to give my opinion yet because I haven't seen all of it.
Hmm.
I did watch Prey, and I posted a review of that, and just as a quick synopsis, it's fantastic.
It's awesome.
Even if you haven't like seen all the other Predator movies, even if you're not a Predator fan, it is just a great movie,
Hmm.
worth a watch. And one of the points that I made is I really just wish that it was a theater movie. I think it had the merit and the cinematography to be
Completely.
an in theater movie, and it's sad that it was a Hulu movie. So props to Hulu for putting that together,
Yeah.
and Trachtenberg, I think, is a director, for him
Hmm.
getting man, it was fantastic.
It
Really,
was
really
so
liked
fun.
it. Yeah. So anyways, that's what's happening. That's what happened this weekend. This week we got some more things coming out that we mentioned. I'm really just looking forward to 2 weeks from now when we get the new Game of Thrones show. That's
Hmm.
like what's on my horizon.
And didn't She-Hulk come out this weekend?
No, it comes out this week, I believe.
This week. Okay.
Yeah, I
I
think
was
so.
trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what the date was. I think it was, yeah, I think it's later next week. It's like the 18th
I get
maybe.
all mixed up sometimes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so I know that you have no idea where we're going with this show, and
Hmm.
it's the best because I didn't want you to have any pre-planning whenever I ask you this question. Okay,
Okay.
if somebody was making a movie about your life, who would you want to play you?
I already have an answer to this one because I've been saying the same thing for forever.
Okay,
If Terry Crews doesn't play me, I will be so upset.
Terry Crews. Really?
Hmm. I just think he would kill it as me.
Why do you think that?
I don't know, but since the beginning of time, and I don't know if it was the first movie I ever saw him in, that has always been my answer to this.
Terry
Like,
Crews.
yeah, I just think it would make my life is a joke sometimes,
Yeah.
a lot of times, and so I only think it would make sense to have him play me in a movie with the rest of the people being very similar to the rest of my family and just knowing acknowledging the fact that it's this giant man.
I was going to say he's very opposite of you in every way, literally every way.
Yes. Yes. He really is, but I think that's what would make the story about my life so fun and exciting is because he is that way. I think it would make the story much more fun and exciting.
So he's like what, 6 foot, huge muscles. He's African American. He's got a big smile with great white teeth.
He can make his pecs dance, everything.
I don't
Yeah.
think you can do. I don't
He's
think you
the
check
full
any of
package.
those boxes. You don't check any
No,
of those boxes at all.
not a single one.
Oh my
But
gosh.
since I can remember first hearing that question, that was always my answer.
Terry Crews.
So
All right, perfect. So that feels cheap because you already had an answer waiting. All
I
right, so I'm
did.
going to take it a little bit further.
Okay.
Who would play your brother?
Mm.
So now we're
Let's.
building the cast, right? So you have the cast.
Okay.
I need to
Mhm.
know who. is
Ooh.
gonna like fill
See,
out
I
this movie?
I kind of want to go. I think I would go with like um uh James Franco's brother. What's
Dave.
Dave
Dave Franco.
Franco.
That's
I
so
don't know
funny
why
that you
he
say that.
jumps into my head when I think of my brother. And I don't know. Like I kind of wanted to say someone like Michael Cera, but like
No, 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 no. You
could
know
you
what's
imagine a
hilarious?
movie with Michael Cera and Terry
And Terry
Crews being
Crews.
brothers?
Oh
I'm telling you,
no.
I'm building a great comedy here, which, like I
Oh
said, is
no.
it mimics my life.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna wait until after you have like your main cast and crew to then come back with who
Okay, you're
I
gonna
think.
hit me with it. I'm
I'm gonna
excited.
hit you with who I think should play all these people. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So you have Dave Franco as your
Hmm.
brother. You have Terry Crews as yourself. Um, who plays your mom and dad?
Mm, that's a good one. Um, see, I can't get off the fact of like it. I don't know if I would ever pick anything like anyone realistic for them because I picture like William H. Macy from Shameless, but it's like my dad is the complete opposite of that. But it's like if I had a dad in a movie, who would I want it to be? And it'd be Frank from Shameless,
Okay,
like
that's.
just wild and weird.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess I should have preferenced the question with like who would play
no.
them and not like who you would want to be your dad. Like,
If we're doing an actual biography and this was
yeah,
like a yeah,
yeah.
well, with that, I'd probably need a little bit more time to kinda figure this out.
No, this is
I
off the
don't know.
cuff. You're a casting
Mm,
director. You need to cast these people now to make a
mhm.
blockbuster hit.
Hmm, let's see. I I would maybe try doing, like, a, um, a J.K. Simmons or someone like
Mhm.
that as my
Okay,
dad,
sure.
um especially because if we're talking about, like, the family dynamic change, we're growing up, we definitely had a stricter, lifestyle growing up into that I think J.K. Simmons could do very well with,
Okay.
where now my dad is much more chill and very different, that, um, it would change over time, so I don't know. I think it'd be very fun to have, like, John Malkovich as well, but he's so eccentric that I think it would almost take away from
Yeah.
playing who my dad is. You would almost want someone that isn't a really big star that you see them as you can't see anyone else when they play a role. Like to have The Rock play my dad, you would never see my dad. You would only see The Rock in every scene. And
Yeah.
like, is there a movie where The Rock doesn't fight anyone? I don't think my dad's ever fought anyone in his whole life. So like the whole story would be crazy watching my dad fight people the whole time. Yeah, I don't know. My mom,
Okay.
I would say she would be the mummy girl, Rachel Weisz.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
Since that's her favorite
Her favorite
actress.
movie. Okay.
I
All right.
think that would work well.
Okay. So your movie
Oh,
cast.
see now, hold on. See now, my dad would be very upset if I didn't say, um, who's the guy that plays Ragnar in Vikings? Because I think
Oh,
that's probably one of my dad's favorite people.
oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't remember
right.
his
He would
name.
like to be played by Ragnar.
Okay. That's all right. All
Hmm.
right. So you have. I think I like the J.K. Simmons cast better than the Ragnar.
Probably so.
So you have Terry Crews, Dave Franco, Rachel Wise, and J.K. Simmons.
If we wanted to make things a little bit more realistic, we can go with my second pick, which wouldn't be Terry Crews. We'd do James Franco.
Okay, so
We could
James
do
and
that. So
Dave
we could
Franco.
have James and Dave Franco playing brothers.
All right. You know,
We could work that.
it's so funny that you say that you said Dave Franco as Jake because
Hmm.
I'm also again thinking who I would have I would cast as you, right? As you and
Hmm.
your family. And I immediately when I said who would play your brother, I thought of James Franco
That's
for
funny.
him. For him.
The
And I
Franco
know
brothers are great. I love them
but and
so
I
much.
know that you are older than him, but
Hmm.
if we had to cast the two of them as brothers, I would have you played by Dave and
Played
him.
by Dave. I
Yes.
like that. That actually would be kind of funny. Seeing
However,
Dave play the older brother.
however,
Mm.
that's not my cast for you.
But see, that would be a good dynamic because then you would get a little bit of that brother jealousy from James having to play the younger
Younger
brother
brother, I
that I think
understand.
would show up on screen because my real
Yeah,
brother is always jealous of how awesome I
that's fair.
am.
Yeah, he's just a jealous kind of guy, which is why I thought of James. I actually, just
Mm,
because he just likes to cause trouble.
yeah.
No, I would cast your brother as James Franco, and I would cast you as Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah,
I like it. The well, it depends on when the storyline takes place because Johnny is, I think he's 10 years older than me.
yeah,
And
but
so
that's the
to have
point.
someone
Is
that
that
much older.
no, he can because he still does wild things, so he can play
Oh
a
yeah.
30 something year old
Oh
you,
yeah.
and like he was very wild when he was a lot younger. It just fits
Mm-hmm.
perfectly. Your dad, Christopher Walken, for sure,
Mm-hmm. That would be a fun
and
one.
then your mom would be Sally Field, I think.
I think that would be appropriate as well. Yeah, I could
I like
definitely
that
see
movie.
that.
I like that movie. Anyways, the purpose of that exercise was so that anybody listening would be like, who would play me in a movie? And if you haven't
Yeah.
thought about it, you should definitely think about it because it's very interesting. Do you know who I would have play me?
Jason Statham.
No, you're only saying that because he's bald.
And he's awesome.
He is awesome,
So,
but no.
but no, I think you have a very iconic goatee
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think Jason Statham would look very good um, with. That I think it would take a particular person that um, that wears that goatee well. I don't know. You have to give me a moment to think about it. Jason Statham still my first, and then Rock is the
The
second.
Rock. So then, who would play you, Kevin Hart?
I think that would go well. I don't know. I would
No.
think Jack Black. I think Jack, even though like Kevin Hart and The Rock have a really good combo together, Jack Black did super awesome. I mean, he
Yeah.
could be with anybody; it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And so, add Jack Black into the mix. Um, I think that would be fantastic, to be honest.
Hmm. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
so. I don't think so. I would have Keanu Reeves play me for sure, 100%.
Ooh, I
Shave it,
actually
shave
think
his
that would
head,
be really well.
just
Yeah.
like in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Have his little beard goatee thing, just
Yeah.
being awesome. He could be me.
I could go for that.
I would definitely have him be me,
Mm-hmm.
and that just adds the cool points because like I love Keanu Reeves,
Oh yeah, for sure.
so that's my casting choice. As far as like the rest, I don't know. I think my movie would be a I don't know, a drama comedy.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you, I don't know. I don't think that there's been anything that's happened in my life that's been so interesting. It would have to be
A
kind of a
dramatization.
comedy. That it would have to be funny. Like I would need my dad being played by someone like Arnold, and he's like, "Get to the kitchen!" Like you would need something like that to actually keep people interested in it. Otherwise, they're
in your
like,
life, they're like, what are we watching this guy's life for?
yeah, we're watching Terry Crews get homeschooled. You know, like,
But that's amazing. I feel like that's hilarious.
it it could prove to be. Yes. There I mean, you could definitely, I think with anyone you could pick out moments of their life and turn it into something. I mean, because that's what's cool about movies is you could go, this movie takes place over 30 years, or this movie takes place over 30 minutes.
Yeah,
We've seen movies like that the whole entire movie is a 30-minute. I could probably find a 30-minute section of my life that was interesting enough to make a movie about.
sure.
I probably could. But yeah. If we were doing like a whole the story of Josh, there'd be a lot of people sleeping if we didn't have a
True.
little bit of fart jokes and people falling down stairs to
Which is
keep
why I
people
said Johnny
awake.
Knoxville,
Yep, that's true. That's true. Oh,
Okay. All
I
right.
like this
Well,
idea.
this is the casting. I think we're spot on. If we ever had to make a movie, uh we could make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
with some solid casting choices. So I leave it to the listener to decide who indeed would play yourselves in a movie. Okay? Because that's something that you got to work out for yourself.
Yeah.
Transitioning to another fun thing I want to do. I want to
Okay.
see how good your memory is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I don't remember what I had for lunch, so this
I
game's
know.
gonna be fun.
I know. All right. So I'm gonna try to make these easier for you, okay?
Don't say
Think
that. Say they're really hard, so I don't feel bad when I miss them all.
Okay, so these are really hard questions. And
Excellent.
if you get any of them, you should feel really good about yourself, okay?
Mm.
Okay. So, think back to the movie The Matrix.
Okay.
When Neo is presented with the pills,
Mm-hmm.
which pill does he take, the red or the blue?
It's the red pill sends them down the rabbit hole.
That's correct. Good job. See, look at you.
Whew. Whew. I'm sweating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally sweating.
And for anybody listening, this is for you as well. These are questions that hopefully you will know the answers to and not feel bad about. Okay. In the movie Die Hard, what is the name of the skyscraper?
Yakatomi Tower.
You are so close. So close. It doesn't start with an N.
I mean, it does start, so it's Nakatomi Tower.
Okay, well, you're welcome.
I had the some of it, yeah.
You're yes. It's actually not the tower
It's
though.
been
It's
years
Plaza.
since I've seen that movie
But
too. I feel
it's
bad.
Nakatomi Plaza, and it. What do you mean it's been
Yeah.
years? I watch that movie every year on Christmas.
I know.
It's the only Christmas movie to watch.
Oh, I watch at Christmas. See, I got kids now, so I go back and watch the original Home Alones. Those are my go-tos. 1 and 2, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I watch Home Alone 2 during Christmas, but Die Hard is the best Christmas movie ever.
Krampus.
Krampus is great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else we get to watch this Christmas?
The Fat Man.
The Fat Man. Yep.
I'm pumped to watch it because I found out about this and I'm like, I'm refusing to watch it until there's snow on the ground.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Got to be immersed.
We just talked about this in a few episodes ago. What is the name of the person that plays the original park owner, John Hammond, in Jurassic Park?
Wait, what? Who's
the
actor that plays him?
Correct.
Yes, and he is. Oh, it's the Attenborough. It's the Attenborough brother.
What's
and
his
so
name?
the real guy's name is David Attenborough. Does the documentary stuff. So this is probably Nicholas Attenborough. Stephen. James.
Okay, for anybody listening that's screaming Richard at their headphones or phone or computer, you're right. It is Richard.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
Oh my gosh.
No, I remember the last name. That was it. Everything else, like.
What movie star? This is a good one. What movie star played himself in the movie Zombieland?
Bill Murray.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Man, that movie is so good. That was so fun.
That was such a great movie.
Woody Harrelson can do no wrong to me. I love. Well, oh god, I said that, and I recently watched The Man from Toronto. He is great. Writing in that movie, not so much. Like, I don't know. Did you see the trailer for that one?
I don't think I did.
So it's the one with him and Kevin Hart, and
yeah.
Woody Harrelson's the assassin. Kevin Hart, happens to get like mistaken for him.
Yeah, it doesn't look that good,
dude. I'm telling you, has the whole recipe, all the ingredients to be a great movie.
But the writing's terrible.
It's so bad.
Did you actually watch it?
I did. I sat down. I watched it from start to finish.
Yeah, I think I started it, and I was like, absolutely not.
It was so bad. It really was. And I felt bad because, like I said, Woody Harrelson in my book, like everything that dude is in, I generally enjoy.
He's excellent.
And so, I mean, you turn off your brain and watch that movie, there's explosions, there's fights, there's little jokes here and there. You
Hmm.
can get through it. You could survive through that movie. But
But it's not good.
if you have other things to do or watch, I would not go like, "Hey, everyone, let's watch a movie tonight and pick that one." Oh, you will
True.
not be invited back to the
True.
family.
Okay. In what movie did the phrase "the power of Christ compels you" appear in?
The power of Christ compels you. I don't know. I can like hear the person saying it, but I can't
Hmm.
picture. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, I would assume The Exorcist.
Okay.
Uh,
Is that what you would assume?
that's my final answer.
Okay, that is
So,
correct.
hmm. See,
That is
demonic possession.
correct.
We talked about horror movies recently. I felt like, um, but I mean, I can't tell you the last time I've seen The Exorcist. To be honest, there's so many different things to watch. I have not gone back and sat down and watched that one in ages.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely still got the creepy vibes for sure. But I think
Hmm.
as modern CGI kind of progresses, kind of like what we talked about last week, it's lost a little bit of its pizzazz, especially after you've seen it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
All right,
Mhm.
what is the highest grossing R-rated film of all time?
Mm. Would that be Deadpool?
No.
Mm. No, that was probably like highest grossing superhero movie or something like that that was rated R. First one that was rated R. I don't know. It just that one popped into my head because of the rated
Hmm.
Rness. But um, 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 I don't know. I don't know. There's
Okay,
so
you give
many.
up.
I do. I give up on this one.
Joker.
The Joker.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
Which,
Hmm.
hot take, not a good movie.
Mm, I don't know if I'd go that far. I enjoyed the movie, but you saying it was the highest grossing was surprising to me because it wasn't one of those that I was like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing. I need to go see it
Yeah.
again." Like there have been movies that I have literally gone multiple times to the theaters to watch it before I got out of theaters. Like spent $15 per movie ticket multiple times because I enjoyed the movie that much.
Yeah.
And that was not one that I felt
No,
that way about. So that is
absolutely not.
surprising. I think I don't know. Sometimes I feel like when it comes to movie theater and box office numbers and stuff like that, it's around the hype of a movie and what people are expecting more than if it's like a super good movie. I mean, maybe if like people see it, the first wave sees it, and then everyone's like, "Oh, this movie was garbage." But I think it was good enough that everyone had really high expectations. They saw it. Everyone's like, "Hey, it's really good," and then people kept seeing it. Where it, I guess it was good enough to keep the hype going and not like not good enough to kind of stifle the hype, I guess I could say. But overall, like, I mean, that's not probably not even in my top 50 movies of all time. So that's surprising.
Yeah. Okay, so I got three more questions for you. Okay, this one's
Hmm.
going to be for you. What item is secretly in every scene of the movie Fight Club?
Oh, the Starbucks cup.
Aha. You know your Fight Club history because it is your favorite movie.
Hmm.
Um, do you know that that was a like an Easter egg?
Yes, it was, and they had to do it that way because later on in the movie, there's a scene where they blow up a statue and the rolling ball rolls like the statue. It's like some giant ball. It rolls into a coffee shop. They
Mm-hmm.
had wanted to make that a Starbucks, and Starbucks said, "No, you cannot do that."
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they just decided to leave Starbucks cups in all the different shots and stuff like that to
How did they not
basically
get in trouble
poke
for
at them.
that?
I don't know. I guess because it wasn't that prominent and you could just say that it was a prop more than like
Yeah.
and maybe it was a difference between like here's a Starbucks coffee prop compared to we're destroying a corporate business being Starbucks. And
Yeah.
Starbucks was like, we don't want that kind of like publicity. But
Yeah.
it's like, if you want to put it in the back of your thing, it's okay. They weren't doing anything defamatory or whatever
Gotcha.
to it.
Okay. 2 more.
Mm.
How many people did Jason kill in the first Friday the 13th?
I would go with 6.
What are you basing 6 on?
I am completely guessing. I have no clue.
Have you never seen the original Friday the 13th?
I'm trying to think about it, and I know there's 20 of them, so I'm sure they're all blending together in my head at once. Like I have no idea if I've actually ever seen that one from start to finish. Like I've seen so many different Jasons and seen him kill so many different people, and I've seen him fight Freddy Krueger on Mars or some shit, but it's like I couldn't tell you from the first one. 6 just sounded like a good number of random people to kill.
True. The answer is none, by the way.
Oh.
He kills nobody in the first one because the killer is his mother in the first one. Trick question.
Yeah, it is. Maybe I need to go back and watch it.
Because Jason drowns in the lake, and the mother blames the campers for letting her boy drown.
Yeah, that's the thing. I knew the kind of basis for that kind of thing. Like I said, and I've seen so many different things of it, but there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
That's
like,
the original.
it's just, to me, it's just Jason. I see the mask, I see the machete. It's like, I know that's Jason, that it's like, I haven't ever been like, oh, I'm going to go and watch. I mean, maybe I should just do a marathon one day and just start at 1 and go, we're going through 1, 2, 3, all the way until I can't handle it.
During Halloween, just put them on in the background and just let them play.
That's true.
Just
streaming.
A secondary question to that: what is the place called? What is the camp called?
Oh, well, I was gonna say camp. It's Camp something. Camp Nowhere.
Yeah. Yes. I think I like your made up answers better than the actual ones.
This is making movies, baby.
It's called Camp Crystal Lake, and we're just slowly revealing literally how little your horror knowledge is. So in that vein,
if I want to watch a horror movie, I'm watching Evil Dead 2 again. If I'm like, I want to watch a horror movie tonight, what do I want to watch? I'm watching Evil Dead 2 again. I have seen that movie a million times,
by the way.
and love it. It's too good. It's so funny and just gory and brutal, and Bruce Campbell is the man. So,
all right. Well, then in that case, I'm not going to end this trivia until you get one right. So,
all right, hit me with it.
The Michael Myers mask in Halloween. Whose face is that?
It's William Shatner.
Wow. How did you know that?
I did know that. I don't know why I knew that, but my son was Michael Myers for
okay.
For
all right. Well,
Halloween.
That's good. I'm glad you got that one right. But I still have one more then.
Okay.
At the beginning of Scream, whenever the killer calls Drew Barrymore's phone, what is she cooking?
Spaghetti.
No.
I will say that's another one of those movies that blew up and had so many like parodies and memes about it that it was almost like, I don't know how to watch this movie. Like it had the whole thing of the killers in the house, and it's one of them, and they're calling, and I know what you did, and all this kind of stuff. That it was like, I had seen it parodied so many times that I don't think I've ever seen the original Scream movie.
Gosh, it's popcorn, by the way, and it. She's getting run around, and then it ends up like catching.
Why is she cooking popcorn?
Because she's at home alone, man. She's gonna watch a movie, a scary movie.
I would like spaghetti with my movie.
Oh man, I think
I'm sweating really bad right now. I get nervous when I get asked questions.
Put you on the spot with these trivia questions. My only regret is that I was the one giving the questions, so I couldn't answer my own questions.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hit you back with like romantic comedy questions one of
and
these days.
I'll know nothing about them. Speaking of romantic comedies, you still
Yeah,
haven't watched The Descent.
I know. Well, I mean, what it's been like 2 days since we last did it, and in between then
No,
we watched Prey together,
it's been a
and
whole week. You've
a whole
had
week.
plenty of time.
Mm, I don't know. We may have.
We've had plenty of
It's
time
gonna be done. I'm almost feeling though. I'm feeling an October vibe from this thing, like a Halloween vibe.
because it's the Halloween.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give you 31
You're
movies to
right.
watch in Halloween, and you're still not gonna.
It's not gonna happen. That's
You're
so many
still not gonna watch
movies.
it.
That's so many
Exactly.
movies.
Gosh. Um. So I had fun asking you movie trivia. I hope that anybody
Mhm.
listening, it's either going to go two ways, right? So either they will be just like you and know none, not like you got a couple right, but they'll know nothing.
Well, I
Or
think I got like I think I
do you,
passed.
do
I
you
got
think you
like
passed out of all of
70%
them?
maybe.
I was going to say
Mm,
there's going to be the people that like know every single one, and they're like these questions are the easiest questions ever, which I did try to
mhm.
make them not. So like you were like I don't know, and say things like spaghetti. I was trying to make
Yeah,
it a little
it
more
was an educated guess.
manageable. There's nothing educated about making spaghetti, especially if you're a teenage girl home
I
alone.
don't know. I pictured the knife in the movie, and I was like, that knife looks like it'd be good for
A
cutting
spaghetti
like,
knife.
well, no, not
Have,
spaghetti, but cutting like a baguette to do like your garlic bread.
no, she's not just making spaghetti. She's also toasting a baguette, not toast. She's not toasting toast. She's making a baguette, and
With garlic bread, you got to have garlic bread with your spaghetti.
she
Otherwise,
needs
it's garbage.
a huge butcher's knife to cut the baguette. That's not even a bread knife. It's
I
not
mean, it's
even.
a big. I don't know how you cook, but I literally go to the biggest knife in my kitchen every time I cook because it feels awesome. I'm not grabbing some tiny little 1 inch knife to go like, oh, this is what you're supposed to use. No,
No, the
I get
bread
the
knife.
watermelon
Oh
knife
my
for
god.
everything. I don't care what it is. I'm cutting a lime and I'm pulling out a butcher blade. Just chopping shit.
All right, man.
You gotta live.
Yeah, you gotta
Life's
live, but
short.
you know, life could be shorter if you're cutting bread with a butcher's knife. There's a bread
Very
knife
sad.
that's longer than a butcher knife that is
And
serrated.
serrated.
Yeah.
Yes, I do know that one now.
Okay. All right. So
It's very
the
skinny and flimsy, though. It doesn't
no,
feel
it's
very good.
not. No, it is not.
I don't
It's a
know. At least
large
mine
knife.
is.
All right. Well, you need a better bread knife because
Yeah. I'll
you.
show my knives on here one day, and I'll let you. I'll
No, you
show you,
won't.
and when you see my knife, you'll be like, "Oh, I know why he uses that knife for everything," because it's very cool.
Trust me, I like to use the butcher knife, the meat knife or whatever for everything because it's typically the sharpest. But
Hmm.
there's certain things like even that knife doesn't cut cheese very well. So I don't know if you know this, but you can get a cheese knife that's made of plastic that has the flat serrated edges that cuts through cheese really well. And it's just a plastic knife.
I buy sliced cheese.
That's because you
So
have kids.
yeah, half singles, baby.
Gosh, gross. Oh shoot. Um, man, I don't.
Hmm.
I feel like that with doing like a theoretical casting,
Hmm.
it's almost like a tease because you think about the people that would play you, and you almost go, man, they'd be so much cooler if they were
Than
me.
me. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like if Keanu Reeves was me, I would have no business being me anymore. It would just be like that's me. There's me
Yeah.
over there. You know.
Well, I plan on before our next podcast to come back with a, a a well thought out list just to run through like in 5 seconds of if there's anyone that I could think that would be better than what we came up with today off the top of my head.
Do you know
But
the only other person that I think besides Johnny Knoxville or Dave Franco that should play you?
Russell Brand,
David Spade.
David Spade, God, only if he had his hair like Joe Dirt.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
exactly what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Yeah,
Then
David,
I could see that.
David Spade, and then
I don't know. Can David Spade grow facial hair?
yeah, I think
Have
so.
we seen him in a movie ever with
Joe
a
Dirt,
beard?
he had a mustache.
I think that was movie props. I
But
think
okay, so movie magic. He
that,
can get a new beard.
that just feels weird to me. I don't think I want someone playing me that can't actually grow facial hair. I've had a beard since the day I could grow one,
Yeah.
and I've never gotten away from it. I look too dumb without it. But I guess that
Yeah.
would work too, because he could shave his beard at one point and look like dumb David Spade.
Exactly.
No hate, no hate.
No hate. I mean,
Love
hey,
him,
he's awesome.
but
Uh,
he's no Brad Pitt. I'm just
no.
saying.
I mean,
No
I'm
James
just
Franco.
I'm just thinking like if you were David Spade, then like I could be Adam Sandler or something. But
That would
but
make a
only
great
the
movie.
Adam Sandler from what's the Gems movie? Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. Mm-hmm.
That Adam Sandler.
That would be pretty wild. I was thinking more of like the Little Nicky.
Why? Because I wear basketball shorts and big t-shirts. Because I don't do that.
No, I like his personality in that. I think that would go well.
With the emo haircut.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of Big Daddy actually whenever you first said Little
Mm.
Nicky. But yeah, Little Nicky, that's no. He wears that big puffy coat and that with the lisp.
Oh God.
That
See, that's
doesn't
the
work at
thing.
all.
If well, we would have to think too, like it would be more if we had a story, like if the story was just about me growing up, my life, being homeschooled and going to work and all that kind of boring shit. Or is it my life around this point where I have you as my friend and now we have a buddy comedy?
Yeah.
Like, and we're
I
talking
think
about killer buddy comedy duos, that
yeah.
I think we could come up with some really really great ideas.
No, see that's what makes it even better, right? Like it's a buddy comedy duo, right? And like it's all
Yeah,
about us hitting GameStop and like going like traveling all over
there
the
we go.
world, right?
Yeah.
And then
So in that
it's just
version,
it's
great
Keanu Reeves
buddy
and Terry
comedy.
Crews.
That would be a good one. I was thinking more like 21 Jump Street style. I'm Channing Tatum, you're Jonah Hill.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that would be a pretty cool
Yeah.
duo.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. I was thinking more like I'm The Rock and you're Kevin Hart, you know.
That also, like I said, that would be pretty good. It fits us pretty well,
Or
I have to say.
or I'm Michael Jordan and you're Dennis Rodman.
Oh man, we could do this all day long. There's so many great duos out there. Mm.
I'm Chris Tucker and you're Jackie Chan.
Oh, that would be a good one. That would be a good one.
Oh no.
Mm.
Oh gosh, Rush Hour. Those movies are so good.
I know. I was watching. I think it was Rush Hour 2 the other day. My niece and nephew and sister and all, they were about to leave the house, and they had been here this weekend hanging out at the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And Rush Hour 2 was on, so we were sitting down watching that when my sister was kind of packing up things, and it got to the scene where Jackie gets captured and they stick the bomb in his mouth and duct tape it closed.
Boom, boom.
And my nephew was like, "This is the worst movie ever. This is terrible. I don't like this movie. What is going on?" He was freaking out. We were like,
Why?
I don't know. I mean, he's 5, but that scene, he did not like it whatsoever. And then he threw up, and we think it was probably because he was feeling sick that he just wasn't feeling the movie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a wild weekend at my house.
Oh my
To say the least.
That's a good one. I like.
That's a good story,
too.
right?
Yeah, that's got Jackie Chan. Mm-hmm. I like the outtakes of Rush Hour movies.
Oh, they're so good.
Almost better than the movies.
Well, just the fact that Jackie can physically do all that stuff and then just gets banged up like crazy and then still gets in there and does it. It's amazing. That dude is probably one of the hardest working people in all of Hollywood. Love him.
My favorite part of the bloopers is every time Chris Tucker, instead of calling him Lee, calls him Jackie. Yeah, that's my favorite part. Like he messes up his lines so much, he just never gets his name right. Jackie, kick the door. Jackie, we would do that, wouldn't we, Jackie? And he's like, my name is Lee. His name is Lee. God damn it.
I know. I feel like sometimes in that they should just rewrite it. It's like, who cares if his character's like, does his character have to be named Lee? Can it be named Jackie? Like, does that pull you out of the movie too much? I don't know.
It might. I don't know.
I
I
don't
always
I don't
find
think
that
I would ever have a problem with that.
I don't know. I find it weird whenever an actor that I know their name plays like their the same name character. You know what I mean? Like I
Well,
think that's weird.
like Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for like 15 years. His name is Charlie Day.
Charlie,
His
right,
character's name is Charlie Kelly.
right,
Yes. That was that's what I didn't get those
yeah,
two confused.
yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah, so it's
it's
like
weird.
he's always been Charlie in everything. Where the other guys have different names, and for the longest time, I could never because Rob's last name is McElhenney, and it was just like,
Hmm.
no, he's Mac.
Right.
Like, I'm never gonna try to remember his name.
Yeah.
Glenn Howerton or whatever is Dennis. It was just like, no, it's Dennis. Like, I'm not gonna remember Glenn. I'm not gonna
Fine. Yeah.
remember, you know,
Dennis.
Rob McElhenney. No, and it's like I can remember Charlie, Mac, Dennis. That's easy.
But like I'm just like the fact that his name is Charlie as well in
Hmm.
real life. It's like I don't know. I just think it's funny. It's weird a little bit whenever that happens because you're just like that guy's. It makes me think that they can't like it's that Chris Tucker situation where they couldn't remember
Hmm.
their name,
Yeah,
and so they were just like, fine, just like write
they
this
did it
guy as
more
his
out of
name.
necessity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like we're gonna make you John because like you can't remember that your name is actually Jake, and you keep saying John. So like he's just
um,
John now. I always
maybe
that's what I
so.
think of.
I don't feel like
But
it happens enough in movies for me to ever like draw my attention to it.
mm,
Mm,
everything draws my attention
yep.
in an analytical way, unfortunately.
I just shut off
Which
my
is
brain and just absorb
which
what's
is
coming
why which is why I am Keanu Reeves and you're Terry Crews.
in. But if you were to do a buddy sidekick movie with Keanu Reeves,
Hmm.
would you do someone like Ted from Bill and Ted's, or who do you actually think would be an actual good sidekick
Is
for
it
Keanu?
a comedy we're doing? A buddy comedy? Buddy sidekick
Um,
comedy?
to an
Like
extent,
like what's the
maybe
tone of this movie?
we're not going too silly here. We're still doing some action. There's going to
Okay.
be some fight scenes. Maybe we're trying to stop a speeding bus and things like that.
Okay, then I
Um,
definitely make you Sandra Bullock.
mm, I'd be down for that. I'd watch that movie.
I'd watch that movie. If we're doing a little bit of action, but we still need to keep it light,
Hmm.
and we're the same age, honestly, I think that it's tough because I think in that case, I take out Keanu. I replace
Mm,
Keanu with Bruce Willis. Bruce
okay.
Willis plays me. Okay, he's got the like that dry, sarcastic humor, but still
Hmm.
like poised, can do the action. And then for you, I remove like the Terry Crews, the um. Although I would say that Johnny Knoxville and Bruce Willis go together because they've played it. Have they played in a movie, or was that? Oh shoot, was that him? Or I'm pretty sure Bruce Willis and
I
Johnny
don't
Knoxville were
know.
in a movie together. It was either him or Mel Gibson. Hold on one second. We're
Mm,
gonna get to the bottom of this. But I would say that somebody like that, like a Bruce
mhm.
Willis and Johnny Knoxville, Bruce Willis, and even somebody like um, Charlie. You know what I mean?
Charlie from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, because it's like the humor, but like he can also be decently serious if he had to be.
But see, then I feel like the difference between that was very much like in Constantine, where you had Keanu Reeves and Shia LaBeouf, where Shia
Yeah,
LaBeouf was a fun character in that movie,
yeah,
but at the same time, he wasn't doing much of anything. And
yeah.
so, like, I would want it to be a good team. I think with Keanu Reeves, I wonder how Dax Shepard would team
Okay,
up with him because I think Dax. I don't know. I think he has the ability to play lots of different things, though he tends to go more towards the serious thing. I don't know. I like him personality wise a lot. that I think that would be a fun one to do.
That's true. I can see that.
You
I'm
don't
trying to.
want the sidekick being too much of a sidekick that um, they're constantly having to be saved or
Yeah.
not being
Yeah.
in much
Yeah.
of the scene and everything's
Right.
focusing on someone else. You want it to be a strong duo that can work together well. Like
Um.
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yes,
Like
but like, yeah. I mean, yes, but also no, because like
mm,
that's all comedy. I mean, they did have a little bit of action, but like it was Mel Gibson, by the way, that Johnny Knoxville was in a movie with.
what was it
Uh,
called?
I don't remember. It's one of Mel
You
Gibson's
just
not
looked it
not
up.
not great movies. No, I
Mm,
just looked up the Bruce Willis and it wasn't that, so I knew it was Mel Gibson.
gotcha.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think Bruce Willis and Johnny Knoxville would be a decent pair. But if
I
we're
think
going,
so. I'd
if we're
watch it.
if we're going Keanu, yeah, I mean, I think you need. Yeah, it's tough because Keanu it just commands so much of the.
He's a solo man.
Yeah,
Like
so that's tough.
yeah. Um, I know because I was trying to think like would he and Agent Smith actually work well together in something? I like them together on screen.
Sure, but as
Um,
adversaries, right?
to an extent, like Agent Smith was always so cool that it's like if there was some sort of way for Neo to infect him
What
in
if
such a way to that they would team up together, they'd be a pretty unstoppable
what
team.
if Neo somehow ended up in the world of V for Vendetta and it was Neo and V in a post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
action movie?
Mm, we could do that.
I think
What
we're
about like a Norman Reedus?
okay. You could be Norman Reedus.
I
Yeah,
think
him and
so.
Keanu would work well. Although, like
Yeah.
Norman Reedus, just is he just has that like scowl about him always.
Yeah, he's a little serious for me.
Yeah,
That like I mean not like movie wise, but to play me,
sure.
I can't be serious for more than 3 minutes without
Yeah,
like my
that's
eye
fair.
twitching.
That's
So
so fair.
it'd have to be someone that's ready to crack some jokes when
Sure.
it's inappropriate.
Which again, I just think Johnny Knoxville is like the perfect cast.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. No, Bill
Ooh, I'm
Hader.
excited.
Bill
Bill
Hader.
Hader.
Keanu
I
Reeves and
like
Bill
that.
Hader. Because
I
Bill
could see
Hader can
that.
be serious, but he's also like so goofy. Oh my gosh, he's so goofy.
Yeah.
That's it.
That
There you
new
go.
season of Barry, all of Barry,
Barry's
all
so
of
good.
Barry. It's so good. I can't get enough of that show. Mm. I've been
Bill
all over the
Hader.
place.
Bill Hader and Keanu Reeves need to get together so we can watch ourselves on the big
Let's write
screen.
the movie. We're gonna write the movie
Write it and
called
send it to them and be like, "Yo, this is
Jack and
exactly what you
Josh.
guys."
That's the characters they're gonna play. We're gonna figure it out. There's a bomb on a bus somewhere.
They got to keep it at a certain speed.
Yep.
And
Keanu's out there, I don't know what he's doing. He's
Keanu,
maybe
Keanu's a
selling
member.
cars, and you got Bill Hader's getting homeschooled, and Keanu calls him and he's like, "There's a bomb on the bus. We gotta go." Like,
Keanu Reeves is a member of the Continental, and he's an agent. And Bill Hader is an ex-assassin that's trying to be an actor.
I like that. Oh man,
All right. Anyways, that was a fun chat.
I think
Anybody that's
so.
listening, thanks for joining us this week in our movie trivia. Oh, you know what? I did have one more thing before we go. Real
Hit me
quick.
with it.
I want you to tell me your favorite movie moment of all time. If you had to just
Jesus
boom on the
Christ.
spot. What's
On the
your favorite
spot,
movie moment?
into Fight Club when he's Jack's holding hands with Marla Singer and they're watching the buildings blow up.
Yeah.
The way that when the Pixies song comes on
Huh?
and they're just standing there holding hands and the camera's really panned far back and you're just watching the buildings explode, and it's just, to me, that every time I see it I get chill
Yeah.
bumps. I love it.
Huh. That's
Mm-hmm.
when I was thinking of that question, that's a really good one, by the way. When I was thinking of that question, I was trying to narrow all of mine down
Mm-hmm.
to just one.
I think it has to be on the spot. I think if you have too
Yeah,
much time to think about it, there's too
yeah.
much competition.
There's so many. But
Because the more I think about it, the more that pop into my head that I'm like, "Ooh,
yeah,
that's a really cool scene. Ooh,
yeah,
that's really good." Yeah.
man. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
One of my favorite though, and I think that if I had to go to it, it would be this, and it's because the combination of everything all put together is just unbelievable. And
Mhm.
it's the music, the cinematography, the choreography, the what it means in the story, how it ends the story, like the whole 9 yards. So, if you've ever seen The Last of the Mohicans with Daniel Day Lewis,
Mhm.
you're agreeing, but I feel like that was an agreement of just like continue the story, and you haven't actually seen it.
Mhm.
Is that correct? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I know
uh,
the movie. I know
yeah,
what you're talking about. I've
at
heard of it.
at the end of the movie, there is a
Mhm.
scene where the main Indian um, Magua is taking the one, both of the daughters of the British captain, whatever,
Mhm.
up this mountain. They're taking them away from the main characters, which is Daniel Day Lewis, his Indian brother, and his Indian father,
Mhm.
and they're like running up this like beautiful landscape up in the Appalachian Mountains, whatever, and they're chasing this group of Indians that is holding the two girls hostage. And
Mhm.
it is this like slow motion cinematic scene where they're running and the music's playing and the Indians are marching away. And basically, long story short, the one daughter that's being held is Daniel Day Lewis's um, brother's like love, like
Mhm.
he's trying to get to her. He gets up to her and he fights through a bunch of Indians and the blah 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 blah. They're fighting, and anyways, the main bad guy kills the brother
Mhm.
in a one like a 1v1 fight. The the daughter that he loved, instead of going with them, chooses to commit suicide and falls off the mountain to her death because
Mhm.
she just saw the guy die.
Yeah.
The dad comes around the corner in slow motion as the son is being cut open by Magua, right? So it's for
Mhm.
slow motion, the music's playing, he's he sees it, he sees the anguish. He cuts through like six people to get to the bad guy, the main
Mhm.
Indian, and then there's just an awesome fight where the dad kills him and like ends Magua's like line or whatever. But the whole point of the movie is like it's the last of the Mohicans, and you think it's about Daniel Day Lewis, but Daniel Day Lewis is an Englishman. He's not
Yeah.
Indian, and so the actual last is this older father, and
Mhm.
he like the end of the movie he has to watch his son, his heir, die, and then he avenges
Mm.
his death. And the scenery it's absolutely breathtaking. The music, like I cannot watch that scene and not get like emotion, like teary eyed, because
Yeah,
it's
like
like
choked up and
yeah,
everything.
it's
Yeah.
so intense and so brutal. If anybody hasn't seen Last of the Mohicans, I just referenced it whenever we were watching Prey the other day, because in some instances in Prey, they had very much Last of the Mohican style music and cinematography and
Mhm.
some of the Indian stuff, and it's definitely just it's worth a watch just for that alone.
You've piqued my interest, I will tell you.
That movie is fantastic. I'm gonna link that scene
Mhm.
for you to watch just so you can see like how it ends. But the whole
Yeah.
movie is like that. It's music. It's
Mm. Well,
the,
no, I don't want a spoiler thing because I probably would watch this one from start to finish, and I'll do it before I'm 40. I'll tell you that.
no, it's funny because I want you to see that, but it is better if you just experience the movie in its entirety. But anyways,
Oh, yeah.
anybody that hasn't seen the movie, it's a great movie. If you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That whole ending part is just phenomenal, and
Excellent.
that's my favorite movie moment.
Well
Yeah,
done. Well done,
yeah.
sir.
Thank you, thank you. Anyways, that I wanted to get to that part a lot earlier, but we got sidetracked. We had a good time,
I had a
and
good time.
I hope anybody listening had a good time as well. You can find us, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you can find us on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, wherever you listen to
Mhm.
podcasts and whatever you'd like to intake your movie content, we are there. And I hope you stick around.
Yes. And thank you to our sponsor, Jury of Wolves.
Yep. You can get 10% off your order using the discount code Hope You Hate It at checkout. That's www.juryofwolves.com. And from us at the Hope You Hate It podcast, we hope you hate it.
Later, taters.